that series and from that deciding win, we're going to send it over to the telestrator.
Thanks, Freak. And it's actually 29 kills, 9 deaths, and 27 assists for Maple Street, which gave him a 6.2 KDA for the series, so pretty good. But I really wanted to show the chaotic moment in this game and probably the defining moment of the series that ultimately decided who made it into the LCS. And the important thing to note about all of this is the amount of pressure that these teams are under heading into this game, because they've been through the ringer. We're no longer seeing perfect play. They've been on stage for 5 hours, and they know that the next few minutes can decide their career. So I think that is just one of the coolest things to get a glimpse at some of the mistakes that happen from some of the best players in these critical moments. So the first thing I want to look at is actually at the Dragon Pit, because this transitioned for about a minute before the game got really, really interesting. So we can get right into this one, because Crumbs, he's trying to set up a play with his ultimate. You can tell that RNG is looking for the game-winning Yasuo ult, and he shoots off the ultimate right there. But Alex leashes on to Kong Quan, the tank Alistair, one of the worst champions you would want to be ulting as the Yasuo. And then as they're funneling out, Chris lands one of his best ultimates, probably the best ultimate of the game, which nearly turns this around, because Coast, from a 10,000 gold deficit, looked like they were going to come back. And now all of a sudden, they decide to rush straight up to the Baron Pit. And this is where the game gets really interesting, because it's literally make or break. Renegades doesn't want to give up this Baron, otherwise they could lose their chance in the LCS. And that's when, honestly, RNG they just go for it. The Baron's at 2,000 health, you have no other choice. Maple Street comes in with some massive crits. The static shiv chunked people out. He gets a few more thanks to the Zeke's Harbinger from Crumbs, and they wipe the floor with Coast, essentially making up for the loss that they had at the Dragon Pit and rescuing their chances to make it into the LCS. A few minutes later, they win another fight, and Renegades makes it in. That was the defining moment of the series, so I just wanted to go over it one more time on this telestrator, and we now have 2 members from the newest LCS team on the analyst desk. Take it away, Dash.
Thank you, Jet. As you just said, 2 of the members from our newest LCS team, Renegades, Maple Street, and Crumbs. Crumbs, I'm coming to you first because we had a video feature in which you said that qualifying for the LCS would be one of the biggest achievements in your career, and you've had a pretty illustrious and storied career. So tell me how it feels to have made that accomplishment, know that you're back in auto-qualified.
I don't know. I'm honestly just ecstatic because we were actually able to pull it off, and it was so simple to just say it on paper. These are the steps you need to do to make it back into the LCS, but then the people that you meet across taking all those steps really just makes it such a memorable occasion.
One of those people you've met
of course.
In Maple Street. Maple Street. This series was really back and forth. First game going to Coast, then to you, then to Coast. You guys with the last 2 wins there. Going to that 5th game, a lot of pressure on the line. You individually performed very well. What was the mentality and the discussions like in the team going through this entire best-of-5 as it teetered both ways?
I don't know. It was pretty crazy. Like, all the games seemed to snowball really hard, but they went on for a long time. Like, no team went down really easily. So we had, like, multiple 40-minute games. And I was super exhausted. I kind of just zone out during the coach's talk. So I'm just like, I just got to get my A game, because, like, almost every game, the AD carries had massive impact, and like when I had really low impact, I knew we lost, so I just had to regain my focus after game 4.
Yeah, well, with that, you as well are returning to the LCS. Let's not forget that this is not the first time I've interviewed you coming out of the Challenger Series and into the LCS. So how does that feel, knowing that, I mean, you have this ability to keep fighting back and making that return?
Well, this is like my absolute favorite win of all of them, because I didn't perform well in the Velocity versus Martin games where we qualified, and I didn't think I played super well in the Team 8 versus Complexity games. But this set, I was just on fire in the games we won.
To say the least.
And you get to hold that, buddy.
I get to hold it?
You hold it.
There it is. Champions. You know, Crumbs, I have to wonder, what is the difference in this team, you know, than any of the other LCS teams that you have qualified with or been in the LCS with? What makes this one so special?
I think the thing that really stands out is one thing about the last game, because I know that when we play during our scrims a lot and we pick Maokai, you know, a different word for Maokai is Meowkai, and then my whole team starts meowing, and I just kind of like, no, make it stop. And I just wanted to do so well, so badly, that I was like, you know what, guys, like if we win this, I'll dress up in whatever cat outfit you guys want, because I want to win. I don't care. I just want to win. And now they'll be doing all that for them. And little do they know, I'll just go back to Canada and hide there, not dress up. But just the team in general, I really enjoy playing with these guys.
Now, looking ahead, you guys have a lot of time now before the LCS spring split starts. So, you know, in an unusual position for a challenger team to be in, knowing that you have all of this time to fill with prep, with things that you want to continue to work on. So what specifically do you feel this team needs to do in order to compete with the top echelon of teams once you guys show up in the spring?
I imagine what we're going to do is going to be take a break, of course, and then go with a more relaxed scrim schedule, because for the preparations for this, we barely really took breaks. Like, we just took constant days of practice and practice, even in 3-block scrim, like 3 scrims a day. So that could be 3 best-of-5, so 15 games total every day, which is pretty exhausting. So I imagine we'll take more of a, 3 to 5 days of scrim a week, and then as the time dwindles down that we actually get to practice, I think we might just go for a boot camp, just try to ramp up ourselves and then just go for it.
All right, finally, Maple Street. Renegades is a brand that people have already been recognizing in the Challenger Series. I mean, even here today in the studio, we heard many an RNG chant. So how has that been? How has the fan interaction and the fan support helped you guys, and how do you hope it continues to grow going into the LCS?
Yeah, there's certainly a lot of hype, and we have a pretty awesome logo, and everyone just shows off their bandanas on Twitter and whatnot, and they tweet at us, and I think that's really, really cool, because the teams I was on before, we didn't have such outpour of fans.
I have to say, my Twitter feed was just blowing up with masked photos all day. So thank you for that.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Yeah, it's just great.
Again, gentlemen, I have to congratulate you on your hard-fought victory, to say the least. Go ahead and pick that trophy up. It's yours. It's yours. Share it. It's wonderful. Victories. Yes, it is. It's yours to keep.
Wait, really? We get to keep it?
I actually don't know if you do or not. No.
Why would you lie like that?
That's not a question for me to answer. All right. Well, again, congratulations, gentlemen. I look forward to casting your games and talking to you guys when we get to the spring next year. Now, to close out our evening, we're going to send it back over to our guys on the caster desk.
Thank you very much, Dash, and thank you for lying to our players after they win a tournament. So, good job on that one.
They don't get to keep it, but, use it while you can. Enjoy it. Hold it.
Take selfies with it, chill out with it a little bit. Honestly,
Put a bandana on it.
Yeah, it's a great one. Bandana on the trophy. Now, guys, it was a great tournament, a great series, an amazing best-of-5 here, but there was a single player that we had to celebrate here. We were talking about him during the game, but the guy with the biggest impact in the game is the shoeless wonder, Maple Street here, the AD carry of Renegades, just did absolutely dirty things to the opponents. 12, 1, and 15 in Game 4. He went 10, 0, and 6 in Game 5. From the team being down 1 and 2, he did a lot.
Keeping it alive at the end. The shoeless wonder, the badass, Maple Street, back in the LCS for the 3rd time.
Yeah. Crushed it, absolutely crushed it. 42% of his team's kills, very high, played multiple different champions. Had just an absolutely great series here. When they were winning, he was crushing it.
Yeah, but when they play around him, that's when their biggest successes seem to come through. Yeah. And that's only leading into playoffs. They seem to be struggling with a style where they were like, well, do we play around Alex Siege? Do we play around Crumbs and RF? But then the answer seemed to be in the bot lane, where you buy Zeke's Harbinger, you put more emphasis onto Maple, maybe you make a global comp, and then they won all the games that they focused around Maple. Really well played there from Renegades, finding a new style right as playoffs was coming around.
Yeah, it was really just excellent. Every single game they won, Maple's scoreline was through the roof. When he did well, the team ended up winning here. So, of course, a great victory by Renegades. But if you guys are missing your weekly dose of Primetime League today, don't fear, PTL's coming back tomorrow with a special postseason preview at 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 1 a.m. Friday, Central European Summertime. And the LCS playoffs also continue this weekend, starting in Europe with Orien against H2K. And immediately following that best-of-5, we will be back into North America for Counter Logic Gaming versus Team Impulse. Our playoff coverage starts Saturday at 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 5 p.m. Central European Summertime. Once again, massive congratulations to Renegades for being our newest North American LCS squad for 2016, and thanks to our guest analyst Porpoise for your insight. But now for myself, the caster, the entire live broadcast crew, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
Toodaloo, guys.
The winner joins the